My passion is marketing. I love building relationships through marketing and generating business. And it's great to have this conversation with Lewis and Nicole because they both do it in such different ways, but they are both very, very effective. And if you're interested in learning on how you can grow your business effectively and having a variety of ways to do so within your organization, you definitely need to hear this conversation. I really want to talk about this with Lewis because I know that there's a million ways to market yourself as a real estate agent. And a lot of people in this town, smaller town, right? We're not Houston, we're not Dallas, we're not even New Orleans, right? Like you always say, New Orleans is the smallest big town in the United States, right? And we're outside of that. It's very much a relationship based business, and there's a lot of different systems in which to go generate business. You're very good at the cold calls, on the phone, and then I know you're more of a relationship type agent. And so I definitely want to hear both of y'all's opinions and kind of how you have grown as a person who's comfortable on the phone and then how you build your relationship. So I really want to start with the phone calling because a lot of people run as far away from that as they can, but it's such a valuable tool if you can do it well.
Well, Nicole and I both weren't from the area. I played football at LSU, but I'm not originally from here. So I wasn't went to Mandeville High School or had all these connections or whatever. So I started my business on the phone. I was cold calling. I did what Keller Williams had taught us and preached to do, calling for sale by owners, calling expired listings, calling challenging sales, like maybe a divorce situation or probate or something like that. So I had to start with the cold business. So I built my business around prospecting. We're prospecting based, and we leveraged marketing to expose our properties at a high level and attract more buyers and sellers. So it's never been foreign to me. I'm in sales. I'm on the phone for a minimum of 3 hours every single day. This morning I made about 300 dials and got maybe about 30 or 40 people on the phone and set 2 appointments. If you want to do a lot of business, you're going to have to reach out and get in front of people and ask for the order. That's as simple as it is. Mm-hmm. So, and over time, we got a name for ourselves. We did great jobs for buyers and sellers, and they referred us a lot of business. Now, about 50% of our business comes from referrals and repeats. But that does not mean I'm not going to be on the phone at 8 a.m. every morning, and I'm not going to coach, train, and lead and motivate my team to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because that's going to sustain all ups and downs in the business. If you're not out there prospecting, moving with the buyers and shakers that are looking to buy and sell real estate, you're not doing business right now.
So you said 50% of your business comes from past clients. So are you also cold calling them, or are you waiting?
I wouldn't call that a cold call. Now that's a warm call. We built a relationship.
You're calling them without having an appointment set, and you're asking them,
what can we do for you in 2025?
Gotcha.
We're thinking about you. I was in the neighborhood over the weekend. How's the house treating you?
Is that part of the $300 you did this morning? Were those people included in that?
Most of my stuff this morning were expireds, online leads, for sale by owners, and follow-up business that I've been cultivating, nurtured leads.
So, but the day for that necessarily?
Yeah, okay. There's a day for that. Nicole is much better on that end of things, so she has that ingrained in her business plan.
Yeah,
that's one good thing about being on the team. I know my strengths.
Yes,
the other agents we have custom business plans on areas that they want to nurture business.
That was one of my questions. I mean, like, you have someone on your team that walks in the door and wants to be wants to do business like Lewis, right? Yeah. You sit down with me, I'll show you how to do it, and I'll walk you through it, and I'll hold you accountable, and we'll practice, and we'll make you better at it. Or you can be more the relationship side of the business, and which I'm at the point now where I could reach out to an agent I don't know, or I could reach out to a buyer or seller I don't know, and yeah, just I'm confident, but like it's not my default. My default is
people
the relationships that I have, and going out in the community and adding value. And spending time with people that I share common values with, and knowing I want to spend time with that person, right? I think we can relate to that. How do you utilize the yoga studio, not intentionally or directly, but like the relationships that you've built there to enhance your real estate business?
I've gotten a lot of business through the yoga studio, but I don't call them. I don't send them like they're not. No, I kind of try to keep that as like a sacred space.
Yeah.
Like I try. It's just I've formed friendships with people, and that's the relationship.
Which is the point, yeah.
It's not like I'm going to sell their house. It's just they're my friends, and then they trust me, and they know me, and they know our business, and so it's a natural thing, just like anything.
For sure.
But it was never intentional. It was actually a lot of coaches we've had before. They're like, well, you got to take your database from this and put it in your dialer. I was like, I am not calling those people. Like that is my like passion project. Like I'm not mixing the two. I don't need it. Like I need this to feed my soul and this to like pay the bills.
Sure.
I didn't want the two to cross. They just naturally kind of happen. And I've had a lot of like real estate clients that are like, I want to go check out your studio. And so they've come over. It's been that. but never an intentional thing.
But see, but that's the beauty. It's the beauty of understanding. Like we talk about ideal clients all the time for us,
Yeah.
right? So like, who do you want to spend time with? And your ideal client doesn't necessarily have to be somebody you want to spend time with. But if I'm building a profile for my ideal client, it's somebody I can relate to, somebody I want to spend time with.
Yeah.
And I tell people, if you're marketing, go join a bowling team if you like to bowl. Go to the skeet range and do that regularly. Like, or go.
I know. I told one of my agents, is like, go get a hobby. Could you just go get a hobby and just enjoy doing your hobby?
Yeah.
And you're going to run into people. Like, you don't have to overthink, where am I going to get a sphere? You can't force a relationship. Sure. So go do something you enjoy.
Go be yourself.
And go be yourself.
Yeah.
Like, people I do yoga with, I don't want to be friends with somebody who's going to be like, yoga is not, you know what I mean? Those are not my people. So I just hang out with my people who become part of both our worlds.
Part of your life.
Same thing. Part of my life.
You're you're adding value to them, giving them a safe space so that they can move their body, get
It's just
clarity.
normal.
And then they come to you when they need something that you can help them with. And I think that people overthink that side of the marketing.
Girl who
business.
colored my hair before, she was from the yoga studio. She wasn't like poaching us from the studio. We were just friends. And I'm like, oh, you color hair. Now I trust you. And now I know you. And now I like you. And then her sister bought a house with, it's just like you just do life with people. And that real estate's part of my life. And so when I first started, I'm not from here either. And Keller Williams was like, you're going to have to call people. And I think I would vomit. Like, I would physically be ill trying to call people. And then I did. And I got the first piece of business. And so I had to work a lot more on memorizing scripts and just like eyes closed on the phone saying it, like hoping I get some business. And then I get business. And those are the ones I nurtured and I made relationships with. Mel Fortmeyer, I'll forever, like, he gave me my first, like, and I told him, like, dude, I've never sold a house before. He's buying a vacant lot. He's like, all right, I'll give you a shot. And then Mel became my first client who bought, and I'm still friends with him in Mara. You just become friends with the people. So I had to be prospecting based in order to build my business so it can become, I do know the agents that like grew up here and I admire and I am so jealous of their businesses from just like, I grew up with these people. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's beautiful. And having that trust and growing that way. I didn't have that, so I had to create that. And so that's what we've done. He prospects and I nurture.
Yeah. So I mean, like, the relationship, you generate a client, they become a lifelong client because
he generates them, and then through our relationship.
We perform for them, we achieve their goal, and then we form a relationship after the fact.
Yeah.
I break the ice, I get in the door, we close a piece of business,
And
keep
we
in
stay
touch
friends with them.
We check
Yeah.
with them, and if
It's
they
fun.
like us and they love us, they send us more business.
John and I have a similar relationship where I'll go cast a wide net and bring people in, and they usually are like, no, I want to do business with you. I don't want anybody else. John comes in for 5 minutes and like forget that I was even in the room, which is exactly how a good partnership works, right? Like, you just compliment each other, right? Because I could not do what he does, and he doesn't want to do what I do, and so it works out really well. So,
and the beautiful part here, so my business now is pretty much 100% referral or repeat. But I've been in the business for 10 years, so there is some level of that does take time and nurturing, right? Like, you can't do that day one.
Right.
The other part, though, is I used to be in the prospecting world. It is very hard to basically get get a repeatable process on referrals and stuff like that, because it's like you can't predict what your business cycle will look like. The cold calling is a contact sport.
Right.
Correct.
So the number of contacts, number of conversations, number of appointments. I can tell you, I'll talk to 40 people. I set 2 appointments on less than 40 contacts today. So, and that's just cold
conversion
calls.
ratios.
Well,
It's
I know
math.
conversion ratios. I know if I dial 500 people, I'm going to talk to about 50 to 100 people. 10 to 20% are going to pick up. After I talk to 50, I'm going to set at least one appointment, and then my big business can become predictable. Predictable business get predictable results, and then it's just a numbers game for me. So I understood that, and I connected with that. So either route you want to go, but I think you need multiple levels of business income.
Yeah.
Only one rock of every person's business on our team is sphere of influence. When they join the team, you bring 200 of your contacts in, name, phone number, email addresses, and mailing addresses, and you nurture that rock. You need 3 to 5 big rocks. So when one dries up or doesn't show up, you've been prospecting or marketing to those other areas, so there's additional business coming in at all times to hit your goals.
I like talking about it as having one passive and one active form, because active is like, I'm knocking on the door, I'm calling, I'm texting. But passive is they're seeing my social media or they're getting a piece of mail from me. They have to come to me.
Right.
It's like waiting for the phone to ring versus
Inbound,
picking up the phone and
outbound.
calling. Yeah.
And I even find the active of me doing it, I can get shut down. I talk to 100 people, everybody shuts me down, and then out of the blue, something good happens to me. You do the right thing over and over, and you follow a system and a program, you get a result regardless. So me, I'm just making my calls. Don't really give a damn if they can set an appointment with her or not, because I'm gonna get a call from a past client later that afternoon saying, "Hey, I'm interested in selling my house."
Just the
It's
energy.
because I was
It's a
doing the
context.
right
It's
thing. I was
energy
doing
too, yeah.
The productivity and positive energy out in the atmosphere, in the world.
And it's a numbers thing, right? It's a contact sport. And Jim Rohn, you know, he's a classic, right? But he says that success is not one catalytic event. It's doing the basics. It's a few simple disciplines practiced every single day.
Yep.
And he said, on the other hand, right, failure is not one catalytic event.
Right.
Slowly then
It is
suddenly.
Yeah, that's
the
it.
wrong.
Slowly
It's
and
the
suddenly.
wrong. It's like the deviation from the fundamentals
Right.
that the simple
One
disciplines
day
you're supposed
this
to do
week,
every day.
2 days this
And
week,
yeah.
1 day this month, 3 days that month.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
Humans are full of habits. You have good ones or bad ones.
Exactly.
And both of them probably suck getting there, but if you do the good one, most likely you can get a good result. You do the bad one, most likely you can get a bad result.
yeah. So and I love that. So here's something I think that's critical is I love that you guys are a mixture of the two because some people they love the structure, the high intensity, the contact, all that. At the same time, they love the nurture, So I love that you guys come together with that. And again, comes to the power of a team.
Right. And I think even agents that partner with our organization, they like that too, because they never get one piece or the other, or if they connect better with Nicole, they work more with Nicole. If they connect better with me, they're on the phone with me all the time. There's no right or wrong answer. It's sort of, you don't ever have the perfect agent. We just have a structure where we sort of complement each other in a good way that usually fills the buckets of most partners that join our organization.
Well, it's like one of those things where it's like they may, for example, connect more with you, Nicole, but they're still getting
what they need from me.
the benefit of the system.
And even if it's say 75% Nicole, they still need a kick in the ass 25% of the time with me to get them to where Nicole's taking them, and vice versa. Some of them just want to do the discipline. They're military, they're athletes, they connect with me, yet they still have to touch that emotional twinge to be able to get their butt out of bed.
Well, and sometimes it's client based too. Like their client's a little bit softer, and so they need to
won't
figure out
work
the
with everyone
approach. Or
well.
sometimes
Yeah.
their client's being difficult, and they need to figure out a different way. And so it's
Exactly.
different for every lead or every transaction too.
I love that.
Cool. Let's wrap it up. I appreciate y'all coming today. That was fun. If you enjoyed this conversation and want to hear more content, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We post conversations around our podcast on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, we have real estate related conversations. And on Thursday, we showcase part of our Arena Collective story. If you want to learn how to be a better business person, this is where you'll find that content. Please like, subscribe, and follow us. We look forward to seeing you on our page.